If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that I'm pretty stingy when it comes to lists talking about the most overrated Pokemon. However, the previous lists I've covered were also from people who had made multiple lists before then. The following overrated list is this person's first video on this channel. Now there is a part of me that's telling me to be a little more forgiving. I mean, after all, it was his first video. The other part of me does not give a fuck.
Starting off this list, we have Tyranitar, and Tyranitar is a Pokemon that I feel has been given way too much credit. I feel this way about Tyranitar because of its many weaknesses, one being a double weakness, and its slow speed stat. Its speed stat is so low that you're almost guaranteed a free hit with any Pokemon you use. And if you have a Pokemon on your team that has Focus Blast or another fighting type move, yes, let's just go ahead and put this victory for you. However, its defense stat, attack stat, and special defense stat are all pretty high. So it's not
Are we completely ignoring Tyranitar's ability to set up a Sandstorm right away?
In fact, it even gained a Mega Evolution that's actually worth mentioning. So overall, the Pokemon's not that bad. In fact, it's actually pretty good. I just feel it doesn't deserve all the hype that it gets. Because, to be completely honest, there are many different Dark-type Pokemon that are much better, like Weavile, Zoroark, or Hydreigon.
Ignoring how Weavile and Zoroark are underused while Tyranitar is overused, Weavile shares Tyranitar's ×4 weakness to fighting, Hydreigon has a ×4 weakness to fairy, and Zoroark has such poor defenses that it might as well have a 4x weakness. The only way I can see you calling any of them better is because they're all faster, but speed isn't everything, especially since Tyranitar has the bulk to survive a lot of non-fighting type hits.
Now please, before you leave me death threats...
Yes, because I'm so concerned about a fictional monster that speaking ill of him will result in death
I
threats.
just wish it didn't shadow other good Psychic-type Pokemon. Now, Alakazam is a solid Pokemon. Its moveset is nice, it has high speed and special attack, and its design is just pretty cool in general. But just like Tyranitar, I don't really think that it deserves all the hype that it gets. Basically what happens is, people talk about this Pokemon so much and they use it in battle so much that other Psychic-type Pokemon are forgotten, let alone used. So my main problem with this Pokemon is just that it gets too much attention and pretty much takes attention away from other good Psychic-type Pokemon like Gardevoir and Hypno and forces them into the shadows.
You're kidding about Hypno, right?
Do you really want a Pokemon like Hypno lurking around in the shadows?
In case you haven't picked up the pattern here, why should I? What advantages do I have for choosing Gardevoir or Hypno in place of Alakazam, when neither of them have the speed or OP ability the latter has? I might see Gardevoir now, given her new fairy typing and Mega Evolution, but Hypno? There's a reason it was forced into the shadows. Because it sucks like a motherfucker.
Lucario is one of the absolute best examples of a Pokemon that's only really liked for its design. I'm serious, talk to anyone about Lucario and the first thing they'll mention is how cool its design is and how much it looks like Goku.
What? Lucario looks like Goku? Apart from maybe Lucario's Final Smash and Brawl looking like Goku's Kamehameha, I don't see it. Are you going to explain?
Let's take into account that Lucario is a steel type.
So much for that.
He should have these amazing defenses, but he doesn't. He's one of those frail fighting type Pokemon there is, and any hit from almost any Pokemon will pretty much take care of it. And if Lucario is up against a bulky Pokemon like Snorlax, there's just no way it'll win.
I know there are fans of Lucario for reasons other than design, but for the sake of argument, let's pretend its design was the only reason. Why the hell are you bringing up its abilities in battle? You don't go into any detail as to why its design gets too much unwarranted praise, you just say, it's popular because it looks like Goku. So, onto what you are actually arguing about, I won't defend Lucario's defenses. They are pretty poor. But the steel typing is an excellent defensive type, and with it, Lucario takes less from half of all types. And for the hell of it, I decided to look up how Lucario fares against Snorlax. Turns out, Snorlax must have the maximum investment in physical defense in order to survive a close combat, something usually not advised because of Snorlax's subpar defense but great special defense and attack stats. And even then, a Lucario with any form of attack boost can still KO it. And even at best, Snorlax will still take a beating. And don't even get me started on Mega Lucario. Wait a second! Why the hell didn't you mention Mega Lucario or Mega Alakazam? I wouldn't have that big of a problem if you excluded Mega Tyranitar, but you said it was worth mentioning, despite not providing any reasons as to why. When you could have possibly tried to use Mega Alakazam as an argument to further why Alakazam takes attention away from other psychic types. No, instead, we get fucking Hypno! Yes, I did just skip his Clayster segment. It was all about his electric type weakness, his fighting type weakness, and his low special defense. And really, who the fuck talks about Clayster?
And way past cool Mewtwo is. Well, I'm here to tell you something. Well, actually, I'm here to state my opinion in a civilized and respectful manner. I'm here to say that Mewtwo is actually not as good as you think. Now let's take Mewtwo's uberness of uberly uberness, and let's compare it to another psychic type legendary, like Jirachi, for example.
Nope, not letting you do that. Wanna know why? Look at their stats. Look at their battle strategies. Look at their move pools. Look at them. They're really only comparable in that they're psychic type legendaries, but even then, Jirachi has that extra steel type, which further weakens any comparison between the two. You might as well have brought up Hypno. Lord knows you already did that with Alakazam.
Now this Pokemon just makes me mad. This Pokemon isn't good because it's the God Pokemon. It's good because it has extremely high stats, and it can be any type. Like, ever. And a lot of you right now are probably like, oh, Nintendo, Seal, but you're just saying why it's good, so you're not good at this.
Hey, he said it, not me.
Hurl. And I'm just gonna be honest, this is a special time on the list where I'm actually going to take anime as the one and only reason why Pokemon is overrated.
You had to waste the anime card in Arceus. Calling something overrated heavily implies you disagree with what a lot of people like about something. Here, not a lot of people like the Arceus movie, and even less like Arceus in the movie. If your only reason for calling something overrated is because of something few, if any of its fans like, then you have no reason. Also skipping number 4, it's Gyarados, so you can expect that he'll call it overrated because of its huge electric type weakness. And if you guessed that, well, you're not really wrong now, are you? Coincidentally, his number 3 is an electric type.
Now, let's just skip over the fact that Pikachu has garnered many a fanfic in its day. Let's not mention the fact that Pikachu gives people who have never even watched the anime, let alone played the games, pretend like they know about Pokemon so they can be in the geek category, so they can be extreme cool and radically hip. Because I hear being a geek now is extreme cool and radically hip.
Even if that's not your main reason for Pikachu being here, you still brought it up in a pretty negative fashion. Now, why is Pikachu being a sort of gateway drug a bad thing? These casuals don't really know Pokemon, so they need to GTFO. No, they can learn. And the fact that they are interested in Pikachu should imply that they want to know more about Pokemon as a whole, that they want to play the games, or read the manga, or watch the anime. You brought it up, ironically, after going, let's not mention this, so you have to pay the pauper.
Let's just look at this Pokemon like we have with all other Pokemon.
Except for Arceus, because I hated that movie.
Standpoint. So, let's look at its stat. Oh my. Oh, that's not good. Okay then, maybe its moveset is better. Oh jeez. Actually, you know what? The best thing to do is just not question why or how this thing got popular, and let's just continue by buying all its merchandise.
Yes, let's not question why Pikachu is popular because he sucks in the competitive field, and not because of his role in the anime, or because of his prominence in side games or Smash Bros, or
because it's so goddamn cute!
Actually, Pikachu is popular for almost any reason imaginable, except for competitive battling. In fact, outside of Never Used, no one uses Pikachu. Hell, it's not even that popular in NU. At least with Arceus in the movie, it was just an area where it doesn't get a lot of praise. Here, it's basically the area of empty praise.
Now hold on. There are some exceptions to this list, like Noivern. That Pokemon's pretty good, but that's about the only one. You see, people continue on and on and on about how the Dragon type is the best type, and who do they pick to prove their statement? Dragonite, Salamence, and Rayquaza. Literally the easiest Pokemon to kill are your poster boys. Postermons. Poster girl. I'm not even joking. Almost any ice type move hit them, bam, they're dead. It's just simple as that. It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like I said, my script is just on fire today.
General rule of thumb, don't praise your videos in the middle of them, especially in a video with as many faults as this one. But even if your video really was hot shit, that line would be as pretentious as Hypno is terrible. Now, as to why your argument about the dragon flying types, Cloyster, Gyarados, and Tyranitar don't work. No one in their right mind would send them out onto their huge weaknesses knowingly, without an ulterior motive, unless it was literally their last Pokemon where they had no choice, or unless the opponent couldn't KO them despite their weaknesses. This is the main, sometimes only argument you have for half of your entries, and doesn't work for any of them, because any good player would try and accommodate for these weaknesses. And the answer to that is not happening.
And you know, people seem to completely ignore the good dragon type Pokemon like Goodra and Hydreigon and the previously mentioned Noivern.
Yes, because Hydreigon's massive weakness to the fairy type, a type it cannot harm with attacks of its own type, is not as bad as the ×4 weakness to ice, who are among the worst defensive types in the game. By the way, take a good look at the statistics for the Gen 6 OU metagame in November. You can clearly see that Goodra isn't as ignored as you think it is. On the topic of dragons, Garchomp is above both of them, yet its dragon ground typing, despite sharing the same ×4 weakness to ice the dragon flying has, is completely ignored. Not to say that I think Garchomp is overrated, but if Dragonite's overrated for its ice weakness, why aren't Garchomp and the like overrated for the same reason? Now to a topic discussed earlier, Espeon, a Psychic type, is higher than Alakazam.
Other Psychic type Pokemon are forgotten, let alone used.
Bullshit.
But now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, hey, he just mentioned Noivern. Noivern, normal, just dragon flying. This week, this ice was... What gives, C3P bro? Why are you trying to trick me? And I just want to say, gee, thanks for making it this far. I didn't think anybody would listen to my stupid lisp, crappy mic, and bad editing for this long, and to hear an opinion they probably disagree with.
So first you praised your script, now you're bashing your own vid. Pick a goddamn side, please.
Insert heart here. But to answer your question, I'm not trying to trick you. It's just that Noivern is fast and can get out a hit that's also really strong. Dragonite, on the other hand, is slow as balls.
So Noivern is better for no other reason than because it's fast. Ignoring how piss poor its defenses are, Noivern's best non-speed stat is its special attack, which rests at base 97 and cannot be further boosted without an item. Meanwhile, Dragonite, Salamence, and Rayquaza have base 100, 110, and 150 special attack respectively, and base 134, 135, and 150 attack stats. And all these attack stats can be boosted even further via Salamence's Moxie ability or the Dragon Dance move, which also increases speed. In fact, one Dragon Dance from a Dragonite can outspeed Noivern. And don't say Dragonite can't set up, because it can. You wanna know why? It's called Multiscale, Dragonite's hidden ability. With it, Dragonite takes half the damage it would normally take from an attack, provided it's at full health. It's not indestructible, but you're selling Dragonite, and frankly, every Pokemon on this list, short.
I swear though, if I see one more person say that Rayquaza or Salamence or Dragonite, that they're just the best mons ever, I will break a vase. I will break a vase.
And people question why it's so popular. In my opinion, out of any Pokemon I've heard the title of Best Pokemon Ever, there really is no other more deserving than Rayquaza.
I'm waiting.
Now please, before you post any comments, please hear me out. I think we should all be respectful of everyone's opinions and have an open mind when our opinions are unintentionally challenged.
No. You had to think of your arguments beforehand. So unless you did this entire thing on the spot, with all of your ideas and opinions coming straight from your ass, which frankly wouldn't surprise me, you are intentionally challenging others' opinions. You're just not challenging the opinions of any one person in particular. Speaking of opinions, that's exactly what he spouts for the next 40 seconds. I think it's safe to skip that part.
Now my first reason, and the reason that I think proves that Charizard is overrated the most, is that with the new games X and Y, and the inclusion of Mega Evolutions, Charizard was the only Kanto starter who was given 2 Mega Evolutions, while Venusaur and Blastoise were left with only 1. Now this was clearly pandering to the Charizard fanbase.
Can you blame them? Charizard is arguably the most popular Pokemon ever, so appealing to its fanbase would be an excellent marketing decision. Besides, you're only getting 1 Mega Evolution depending on the game, and designating 1 to each version might boost the sales of either one. I actually have a friend who got Pokemon X instead of Y because Mega Charizard X was Fire Dragon, so you can't say it didn't work to some degree. And then there's your claim at the beginning of this. To paraphrase, this proves that Charizard is overrated. No, you can't prove it. You need facts. And while it's popular now, there may come a day where no one talks about or likes Charizard. Would it be overrated then? No, nothing would be in that situation. Then there's you going opinions for quite a bit. How can you thinking that Charizard is overrated be an opinion if you prove it as fact, which is the complete antithesis of an opinion?
Also, on any Pokemon forum, message board, site, whatever, Charizard is rarely he's rarely never in a conversation. Charizard will always pop up, and I have to think why.
It was on the cover of Pokemon Red, it was most people's first starter, the anime special, the mangas, for Smash Brothers.
He's not good competitively.
Why am I not surprised?
Charizard and Charizard Y have a huge weakness to Rock-type moves, and Stealth Rock, with no Rapid Spin support, they're pretty much doomed if anyone lays out Stealth.
When you say Rapid Spin support, do you mean that Charizard lacks Rapid Spin, or its team lacks it? If the former, technically, yes it does. Maybe not Rapid Spin, but another move that works just like it now, the Fog. However, the process of getting it is convoluted, it really doesn't fit with how Charizard plays, and it still takes Stealth Rock damage if that was up before Charizard came out. That's why you designate another Pokemon to clear the field, which leads to explaining the latter. If a team lacks Rapid Spin or the Fog, that's not the fault of Charizard, that's the fault of the trainer.
And Charizard X, while vastly better,
Cough Drought, Cough Solar Beam, Cough 159 special attack.
I can still just not see him being anything but rarely used, and this is because Charizard X still does not gain any Rapid Spin support, and now has a weakness to all these powerful ground type moves like Magnitude, Earthquake, and Earth Power.
That's not as easy to pull off since Charizard, before Mega Evolving, is part flying, which is completely immune to ground. At the very least, using a ground type attack is risky before Mega Evolving, because what if Charizard Mega Evolves into Charizard Y, or doesn't Mega Evolve at all? Besides, are we ignoring how Charizard X is not 4 times weak to rock, takes neutral damage from water, and resists electric now?
Now Charizard has 2 good things going for him. His design, which even I will admit is a pretty cool design, and the fact that he was in Generation 1. Had he not been in Generation 1, no one would have nostalgia for him, and people would probably not even look twice at it. Probably even call it unoriginal.
You literally just said that Charizard had a cool design. Unoriginal or not, if you like the design, you're going to look back at it. And true, Charizard wouldn't be nearly as nostalgic now if it was introduced in a later generation. But people are going on that Hoenn, sometimes Sinnoh, was nostalgic. Likewise, not all Gen 1 Pokemon are nostalgic by proxy. I mean, look at Hypno.
Another grudge I have against this Pokemon is that it's usually claimed as Red's starter Pokemon, which it is not. Venusaur was. Charizard was Blue, or the Japanese equivalent, Green's starter, and Red did not receive Charizard until the Elite Four fight.
You're wrong on 2 accounts, and I don't mean to fuck up your address either. First, Venusaur wasn't Red's starter. Poliwrath was. Second, I don't think people are referring to the manga when they say Charizard was Red's starter. Instead, I believe they were referring to Pokemon Origins, wherein Red did start with a Charmander. After about another minute of him going opinions, we finally get to hear that Daniel guy in the title. How is he? Well...
Hey Trent, what's up? You asked me why is the most overrated Pokemon. I would say the most overrated Pokemon would be Lucario.
And here we see the worst of a consistent problem you had, or at least second worst after bringing up Hip. Your audio editing is terrible. You could barely understand this guy, which wouldn't be an issue if you turned the music volume lower or raised his volume. Speaking of, when you go to the original video, it's a lot quieter than what it is now. That's because I had to raise the volume up to 200% while you were talking. But your friend here is so quiet, I had to raise it to 400%. But thanks to the music and his monotone voice, it's still not unintelligible. What good is an overrated list if you can't hear when something's overrated? You know what?
Lucario has a pretty cool design, but I don't see the point in it, personally. It is one of the best fighting types out there. Its move pool has its pros and its cons, granting him near-type coverage on anything that stands in its way. But I seriously don't think he would be nearly as popular if they didn't hype him up with the movie and then with Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. Honestly, they hyped him up way too much than they should have hyped him up. In the games Lucario's in, I'm not really a fan of him. And another reason I would say Lucario's overrated is probably because people think he looks like Goku with his Mega Evolution and the Aurasphere looking like Kamehameha. But overall, he's not even on my list of favorites.
If that's not what Danny was saying, I'm sorry. I did the best I could do given what I was working with. However, in Danny's defense, he went into more detail as to how Lucario got popular, bringing up the movie he was in, his appearance in Brawl, and actually why he looked like Goku. Though it's really more sharing characteristics than looking the same. But still, the movie and Brawl. Sounds like there's more to liking Lucario than just, bitch, I look like Goku. That said, he was still very monotone. He didn't bring up what cons there were in Lucario's move pool, and his greatest argument to calling Lucario overrated was, I feel meh about him. You know, a while back, I did a video on DeAndre's overrated Pokemon list. Did he lift points for someone more successful than him? Yes. Did he put a Pokemon on his list mostly because of a single user? Yes. Was he monotonous as fuck? Yes. However, his choices were, at the very least, more original. And it's a sad day when I praise DeAndre for anything. I can at least give you credit on putting more effort into joke telling to DeAndre, but you occasionally pause when reading your script, and then there's your editing. I know you're new, but you had footage of Alakazam and Dragonite, so why didn't you use those clips during their segments? And really, you could have easily downloaded footage to provide visuals of the other entries. I was expecting something, but instead, I got Gyarados and Charizard footage being put at the right places for what I can only assume to be on accident, which is a really bad sign. This was your first video, and in fairness, I can see a little potential here. You just need to iron out your editing, do multiple takes, and maybe think about what you're saying, and hopefully you'll improve from that. Final thoughts? I'm sorry, but Hypno was still a stupid thing to bring up.